one was easy and it got ugly. Final 42 zip. El Dorado, a very impressive road win.
We first told you about the potential of a lithium gold rush in our state.
Cities in South Arkansas could soon return to their boomtown days.
I'm going to tell you about Jesus Christ, the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, baby.
All right, everybody, welcome to Side by Side, where we are, well, we almost were side by side, but we're traveling today across South Arkansas. I'm here with the one and only Pastor Doug Wills, PD, Papa Doug, Paul Doug. I heard your first name today.
Yes.
Hey, what we been doing today, PD?
We've been traveling around the state of Arkansas, making some hospital visits.
Yes.
Checking in on some of the folks from Immanuel who are out of town with patients.
Yep.
Having a good time.
We have been having a good time, man. We had a good Subway.
Yes, we
I was
did.
kind of bummed when they were out of tea. I really like their tea.
I know. You cannot have everything, Clark. I mean, that's just the way it works.
I know. If you go to Burger King, it's have it your way, but anyway,
We were at Subway, though. So
it's
there
Subway.
You
You can't have it your way. It's sub. Sub. It wasn't subpar. It was a good sandwich. But anyways, hey, so we're traveling. You're kind of sharing some memories.
go. Yeah.
Your wife, we just drove through Fordyce. Miss Tammy's from Fordyce, isn't she?
She is she is a native of Fordyce, graduated from there. Not going to say the year. Don't want to get in trouble.
So you've been giving me education because
Yes.
you've been down here long enough to be considered a resident, I believe. How long have you lived in South Arkansas?
Lived down here 16 years. Of course, when you marry someone from South Arkansas, you discover that you're now related to about the whole area somehow or another. Anyway.
I had a guy, you know who you are because he might be listening. I was talking to him and he said, my family tree really looks more like a wreath because we're all related two different ways.
Yep.
So there you go.
There you go.
I love it. So Fordyce, Paul Bear Bryant, is that his home?
Yes,
place,
that's Paul Bear. Bryant is from Fordyce, native of Fordyce. Now you have heard the story about how he almost came to Arkansas, but through a series of events ended up going to Alabama.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, he was coaching somewhere and was on the way to Arkansas, and something happened, and Alabama grabbed him before Arkansas did. So we almost.
What could have been, man?
Well, I think it was a missed connection on I really can't remember the whole story right now, but something happened where he was supposed to meet with Arkansas and ended up at either Texas A&M or at Alabama 1 from that point.
Hey, if you know that story, send it in. That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Imagine, we could be the Alabama. I don't know. Let's not talk about football. It's going to make people sad.
No.
But hey, I wanted to have you on here today to make best use of the time because you know some stories in South Arkansas.
Yes.
But also you're going to be sharing your story this Sunday. So I thought maybe you might share just a little bit of that. But you've told me about some crazy ones. We can start serious or we can start funny, whatever you want. But
hey, you're in charge of this.
Okay,
one.
what about the exploding toilets in Fordyce?
Well, of course, now I'm not from Fordyce.
If you're allowed to talk about it.
My understanding from talking to my wife in the late 80s, something happened in Fordyce where the gas company connected to the water line somehow. And
That
unfortunately, one man, of course, no one knew it until someone took a lit cigarette into the bathroom.
Oh.
And they discovered that there was natural gas or gasoline in the water system, and at least one toilet in Fordyce did explode. You can't make this stuff up.
The jokes write themselves, man.
They do, and again, it was a very unfortunate situation, but it did make the headlines.
Wow.
Back in the day.
So how many exploded, man?
As far as I know, one. It may have been more than one, but it was It was a big deal in the late 80s in Fordyce, Arkansas, for sure.
Was it a mystery at first, I guess, or?
It was until they finally figured out where the issue was and tracked it down. But for several days there was a don't drink the water in Fordyce order, from my understanding.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they didn't have bottled water necessarily.
No, that was back before bottled water was a thing.
You have to go down to the creek, man.
I don't know what happened, but of course now I wasn't there, so who knows?
It reminds me, so I moved to Arkansas in 2009 to Searcy, Arkansas, and it was like 2011, there was like a multitude, like hundreds, if not thousands of black birds that randomly fell from the sky. Do you remember that?
I remember hearing about that. I really don't remember what happened.
I don't remember either.
But it was a thing. In fact, it seemed like they did studies to see if they could figure out what happened, because they were just randomly fall down dead.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory, man.
That sounds good.
They need to look into that.
Yeah.
So exploding toilets, you said something else also about the Rolling Stones. Was that Fordyce too?
That happened in Fordyce. The Rolling Stones were stopped in Fordyce. I think they may have been booked into the local jail. Of course, then someone bailed them out real quick, those kind of things. But that also did happen in Fordyce. Yeah.
I wonder why they were down here, like for a concert?
I have no idea. I think that's one of those kind of things where, why were they even down here anyway?
Exactly.
Probably they may have been traveling from one tour event to another one. I really don't know the story, the behind the story account.
Gotcha.
I do know that they were arrested in Fordyce.
Gotcha.
So now you do know the mascot for Fordyce, right?
Refresh my memory, man.
Fordyce is the red bugs.
So what's the story behind that?
Back in the many years ago, before segregation, those kind of things happened.
Right.
One school in Fordyce had the mascot of the red bugs. As part of the coming together of the two schools in town, they kept that mascot, and they are the only red bugs in, as far as I know, in America. The only red bug mascot in America.
Have you heard of the boll weevils?
Boll weevils. The boll weevils are from, I think, University of Arkansas, Monticello.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And then the fighting okra, that's like Delta State, I think, in Mississippi or something.
Okay, you lost me there. I don't know about that one.
I believe, yeah, there is a fighting okra.
Wow.
Man,
okay.
I like fried okra, not fighting okra. Hey, hot take, what's your favorite? You're shaking your head always at me.
Yeah,
what's your favorite catfish or if you had to rank, I guess, your fried catfish? Because I always get my fried okra sometimes. Mm-hmm. I love Woods. But I do love some Flying Burger, and Hollis's is great too. But what would you say?
I would have to say Woods, of course, is good.
That's my number one.
It's a South Arkansas staple.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't go wrong with Woods catering, or Woods even eating in the restaurant. We really enjoy Andy's.
Really?
Catfish.
They got good food.
They're in El Dorado. They really have a good catfish meal.
I knew they had a good breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
My son was playing soccer over across from Andy's last night.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So I love me some Woods. A couple weeks ago, randomly was in the back seat of Mr. Woods' car, and Les was up front, and they were swapping stories.
Oh, I'm sure those are good stories.
I wish I recorded those, man. They were good. Anyways, long story short, so there was one more story you were telling me about. Oh, the Norphlet, of course.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
This is like number one South Arkansas story.
Yeah. Okay. I was pastor at Norphlet First Baptist Church for 16 years.
Yep.
And throughout the years, Norphlet was known for the Norphlet Crater. The old wives' tale was that one day a meteor fell from the sky and made the crater there in Norphlet. The truth is, it goes back to the days of the oil boom.
Okay.
Back in those days, they didn't have OSHA on site all the time. They didn't always do everything according to the way it should have been done. And one day,
Imagine that.
they found oil, were drilling, and it blew up on them.
Oh my.
And it made a huge crater in the earth. That crater's still there. Unfortunately, you cannot get to it. There's fence around it now, all grown up. But it's still one of the stories of South Arkansas is the Norphlet Crater.
So what would it look like if you went over there right now? What does it look like? Is it grown up now, or
dead end of a road, really grown up, an old fence there. You really couldn't see too much except the edge of the crater. And of course, I think there are actually some no trespassing signs nowadays on it.
Oh
too.
wow.
Yeah.
So you know John Moore?
Yes.
Our friend,
Yeah.
great guy,
Yes, sir.
great friend. So when his childhood home is like around the corner and down the block, just a little ways from where I live now, behind Miller Park.
Okay.
Behind Miller Park Mall.
Right.
Which I like to say, PD, hey, if the Miller Park Mall can keep going, so can you.
That's right.
It's still going.
I know.
It's
still
going
there.
strong. It's going strong, dude. Every
It's
time
still
I'm out
there.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyways, okay. So what I'm getting at is, when John was a kid, he drove his bike all the way out to the Norphlet Crater.
Wow.
I think he got in trouble
Yeah, I would think so.
because that would be a good.
Oh, that's probably
10
6
miles? 6 miles?
7 or 8 miles at least. Yeah.
I need to have him
Wow.
on because, first of all, he's a great guy. Got some
Yeah.
great stories with
Right.
Murphy, but also he goes back in Union County several generations.
Wow.
His dad and uncle. Anyways,
Yeah.
so the Norphlet Crater. So you really can't get back there now.
Not right now. No. The last time I heard, they've actually put up some no trespassing signs and really don't want anyone in there at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to know any other curiosities, stories we have, and then you share a little bit of you. But what I found is, like, wherever you live, it is what you make it. And
It is.
just under the surface, there's all these really cool stories.
There is. There is.
Like my wife was talking about how great the Smackover Arkansas Museum of Natural Resources was,
Yes.
and it was kind of in one ear out the other for me,
Yeah.
which I need to be better about that. But then I went and I was like, and
a lot
the
better,
Norphlet Crater,
Clark.
yeah,
A lot better. And
then
listen
she
to
just
your wife.
Yeah, and she just got back from taking my son to Frontier Days at Old Washington State Park on the other side of Hope,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of stuff.
Oh, yes.
So, and then there's history still being written, but it's
Right.
just, it really is interesting. And then also to know, like, some things like the oil boom and the crater.
Right.
Like, there's probably still some people around that maybe had parents that were there that time, or were like
Yes.
little bitty. I don't know what year it was.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of cool.
It is. Yes, sir.
So, what else, man? What about South Arkansas? Is there any other we need to just get some stories out there, see if people know some leads?
Well, I really don't know too much else. Of course, I'm not from this area specifically.
You've been here
So,
20 years, man.
I know, but still, though, they don't tell the preacher all the good stories.
I know. Everybody thinks that we know everything,
Exactly, that's right.
but we don't.
I know, we don't.
We just passed by. Ooh, there's a cop, man. You got to be careful in Hampton.
Yes, you do.
I know from personal experience.
Uh-oh.
But we just passed by Miss Tammy's childhood home,
Yes.
your mother-in-law's house,
Yes, sir. Yep.
and then your son Weston. He's a South Arkansan.
Oh, he is South Arkansas to the core now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
If you had to like do a police sketch and all you could tell him is like, draw me up a dude from South Arkansas. I'm gonna have to edit that part. I love Weston, man. He loves camo. He's got a
I
nice
know.
beard. He's fun to be around. I haven't met his wife yet. I don't think. I need to
Yeah.
meet her. Danielle, is that?
Ashlyn.
See, I'm
Ashlyn.
sorry, Ashley.
Yeah, that's okay. She'll forgive you once.
Thank God that we can edit. Okay. But she seems to be a really nice young lady. But
She is.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's your story, PD? Where were you born?
I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs, go Royals. I know. Don't talk. I know. Born in Kansas City. Lived there for about a year. Don't remember anything about it. My mom and dad split up, divorced when I was about a year old. My mom and I moved back to Clarksville, Arkansas, to Hartman, Arkansas.
Where your other son is now.
Where my other son is on staff at Clarksville, Arkansas right now. Yes, sir.
Two
Yeah,
youth
First
pastors.
Baptist. Yeah.
That's like.
Yeah.
Anyways, so go ahead.
She moved back there when I was about a year old. The story goes that my mom, my dad was in Kansas City. He was headed back to Nashville, Tennessee. He was from that general area. He had a gig lined up to play drums for a country artist named Billy Grammer.
I've heard of that name before.
He was supposed to play drums for him, but he came through Clarksville from Kansas City, headed to Nashville to see the boy one more time, and he never left. He and my mom reconnected, I guess you can kind of say.
Figured it out.
He took a job at a local shoe factory. In fact, if anyone out there, if they ever had specialized shoes for like feet that were not formed right, those kind of things,
right,
more than likely my dad took the drawings from the doctor and made the inside so they can make the shoe around that. They're called lasts.
Yeah, I've heard of the. Wow.
He would make the last for the kids who had feet that were not formed properly.
Wow.
So that they could have shoes to wear, those kind of things.
In KC?
No, in Clarksville.
In Clarksville?
That's after he moved to Clarksville. He got that job there.
Yeah, you were only there a year, sorry.
Yeah. So he worked at the shoe factory for many years. Mom stayed home with me until I was about 10 years old. Unfortunately, life was not perfect in the household. Dad was a Vietnam veteran, and if anyone out there knows anything about that, Vietnam veterans had many issues.
Yes, they did.
When they came back, and Dad chose he made decisions that were not good.
Gotcha.
And because of that, we very rarely went outside the house. We would go out to eat one time a year. On Fair Week. The rest of the time, Mom cooked at home all the time. Dad did not like crowds, all those kinds of things. The cool part of my story is the lady next door. We lived behind my great-grandparents and next door to a lady who attended First Baptist Church, Clarksville, Arkansas. Well, over time, my mom and the lady next door, her name was Jareen, of course, struck up a friendship. Jareen and her husband, Jackie Robert, owned a bunch of turkey houses. If you've lived next door to a turkey house, you know what the smell is. I'm not going to talk about that.
Is it worse than the chicken house?
Oh, it's worse. Yeah. But Mom would help out in the turkey houses every once in a while, those kind of things. And over time, Miss Jareen would begin to invite me and Mom to come to church with her.
Wow.
It never pressured her. Just, hey, if you ever think about it, you may want to, I'd be glad to give you a ride, because Mom didn't drive back then. So one time, Mom and I went to church with Miss Jareen. Okay, y'all, if you live in South Arkansas, you understand what I'm about to say. We walked into this First Baptist Church in Clarksville. Y'all, it was a huge building.
Yeah.
Very ornate.
Formal.
And then I looked around, and all these people were like the people I saw around town on billboards and that kind of stuff. They own the insurance businesses.
The doctors,
they own the grocery store, the doctors, all those kinds of people.
Wow. And
I went, wow, these are in my 5-year-old mind, I went, these are fancy people. My dad works at the shoe plant. My mom stays home. do I even belong to be? Do I need to be here? But over time, Jareen made me feel welcome. Those folks on the billboards, those folks I see in the doctors in the doctor's offices, all those people like that learned my name. And the coolest part was the preacher who got in front of all those people and talked about God learned my name. And I thought that was just awesome. Somebody actually took the time, a big preacher who I saw stand in front of 200 people every Sunday morning, learned my name. Over time, I kept going. We continued to go to that church. There were times we'd come home from church that Dad would not be happy, and well, it was not a good night. Let's just say that much. But I continued to go to that church, continued to be loved on in that church. But I didn't make a decision for Christ until I was 15, because, well, for a long time I was afraid of what my dad would say about me. He didn't like them church people too much. He didn't really care for them. But my mom and dad split up again when I was about 11. And after that point in time, that was where I gravitated toward, was going to church, being involved in the children's ministry, eventually the youth ministry.
That's where you felt safe.
That's where I felt safe. That's where I knew people would be nice to me, those kinds of things.
Your refuge.
Finally, when I was 15, we went to Ridgecrest, North Carolina, to Ridgecrest Baptist Camp. It was owned by Lifeway back then, I think, or Sunday School Board, whatever it's called. And there on I think about middle of the week for discipleship week. So here I was, a lost kid who kind of knew about Jesus, going to discipleship week to learn about God. And while I was there, when the preacher was preaching one night, he said, you know, you may be afraid of what your parents will do to you, but are you more afraid of your parents, or you're more afraid of God? And I said, well, I made a decision that night. I don't care who knows. I'm ready to make Christ the Lord of my life.
Wow.
I walked to the front that night, spoke with someone in a decision room, and I gave my life to Jesus that night.
That's amazing.
The pastor who I said when I was 5 years old learned my name, he was actually at camp with us that week. So I sat down and talked to him, and he said, "Are you ready to be baptized?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm all in. I want to follow Jesus with my life." They had just renovated the sanctuary at First Baptist Clarksville, and I was baptized, one of the first ones in the new sanctuary. Well, the newly remodeled sanctuary at the old location of First Baptist Clarksville.
Wow.
Later in life, we moved forward. That was at 15. When I was 19, I was at a BSU's, now it's BCM, Baptist Collegiate Ministries retreat at Camp Perrin, Arkansas.
Good old Camp Perrin.
They just had that same retreat this past weekend. Yes.
I saw a picture. They had a bunch there.
They had folks camping in tents to attend that retreat. They ran out of room. That's crazy.
The fellow there, remind me his name. He's done an awesome job. The director.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but it's a hidden jewel right outside of Little Rock.
It is. Right, it really is. Yeah, they're doing a great job there.
It's a fantastic camp.
It is. It really is. But I surrendered my life to Christ to do what He wanted me to do. God called me to ministry there, and from there. I went back and told that young lady, there's a young lady I'd been dating that I'd been called to ministry while I was at Camp Perrin, and she said, "Well, yeah, I know. I knew that was coming." So, but the cool part for me is people always ask, how do you know you're saved? How do you know you're called to ministry? How do you know this stuff?
That's right.
Well, here's what I have to tell them. Before I was saved, my 10th grade year, so I was in 10th grade, then went to Ridgecrest that summer.
Gotcha.
That 10th grade year, I was so shy. I talked so little that one of my teachers leaned over the desk. It was Miss Johnson. She leaned over the desk and said, "Douglas?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, why?" She said, "Well, you never talk." You see, when God saved me, when God called me to ministry, He took the shyest kid in Clarksville, Arkansas, and He gave him the voice to proclaim God's word around the whole. I mean, I've been able to preach all over Arkansas. It's been amazing to see what God.
We walked in the hospital today. Somebody knew you.
Yeah. You know, God's done some cool things in my life, not because so I can take credit,
Right.
but because that's what He does.
Right.
You know, and I know that there probably are kids or used to be kids in churches all over South Arkansas, if not even more,
That's right.
who are thinking, "Do I fit in here? Man,
Do I have value?" Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm not them.
That's right.
Yes, you do. You have extreme value. God loved you so much that He sent His Son to die on the cross for you. And when He did that, He took on all those things that you've done wrong.
Yep.
He didn't do it just for the fancy people, as I would say at 5 years old.
Right.
He did it for all of us.
Amen.
And all we have to do is accept His free gift of salvation. We have to give up what we're trying to do and say, "Lord, I surrender my life to you. Make me new. Use me." And He will. That's the cool part.
Won't He do it?
And it's been amazing to watch what God has done in my life. You know, God changed the narrative in my family.
Wow. I have two sons in ministry now.
You know,
They do foster care too.
yeah,
And,
I've got two. God blessed me with my wife and I with two sons who have grown to serve in ministry. The oldest son and his wife, we have 3 grandkids now. And it's amazing to watch how God's crafted everything.
right.
And just the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you right now is an amazing
Yeah.
how God worked all this
God
out.
worked it all out.
For me to be, me to be serving with you now, and it's been cool to watch God do
been a
all
joy.
this stuff right now,
It's been a joy.
because sometimes you have to kind of sit back and just when you think God cannot work something out,
Right.
it's almost as if He laughs and says, "Watch this."
It's like a trick play. It's like, oh, that verse you alluded to it.
Yeah.
Like, for God demonstrated or commendeth, the King James says, His own love for us in this: while we
Yes.
were still sinners, Christ died for us.
Yes.
So, like, what does that commendeth or demonstrate? Well, there's a sense of that in commendeth. I was studying this morning,
Yeah.
my quiet time. Approved. So we're accepted, obviously, in Christ, but approved. That doesn't mean He approves of our sin.
No.
But that in our sin, He can look at what Jesus did and say,
Yes.
I approve of that.
Right.
Let him in.
Yes.
Let her in.
Yeah.
Forgiven.
Right.
And then He starts the word.
That's right.
Man,
That's right. He does.
it's been fun. We had some snacks today. We made some tracks today.
We did. We made lots of tracks.
It's not over yet, but
Nope.
we're pulling into Callion.
Yes.
You got friends in Callion?
I have many friends in Callion.
You got friends everywhere.
Well,
Hey.
I've lived down here long enough. What do you expect?
We better go see what Johnny's doing with these burgers, man. Johnny, we need you to... Johnny's grilling burgers tonight at the church, and he's grilling them tomorrow night too, a Wednesday.
That's right. He is.
And he's such a cheerful, generous guy. Let's just leave it there. I love you, Johnny. All right, y'all have a great day. We'll catch you next week on Side by Side. Thank you, PD. Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. You bet.
drink about 4 or 5 a night, but I got up to 12, 14, or a case a night. And I would take it to the concert with me. I want to get just about that high off the ground before I'd go on stage. Sometime I'd misjudge how high I was, you know, and I'd get on stage and I was a wreck.
The Grand Ole Opry banned you at one time.
Well, I don't know how bad they wanted me in the first place, but the night I broke all the lights on the stage with the microphone stand, they said they couldn't use me anymore. I feel a lot better now. I feel a lot better about my performing, the whole thing. I'm 50 years old, and I feel like life has really just begun for me. I want to thank God for the salvation that we've got through accepting Jesus Christ our Lord. And I want to say publicly to you, the folks here gathered tonight, to the fans and to my friends in the music business, Jesus Christ is Lord in my life. Jesus Christ is Lord.